So L-theanine is a fantastic supplement for calming the brain, helping you get a better quality sleep. And GABA magnesium would help your body relax. If you've got a lot of tension in your body, if you have a physical job, if you're in a deep deficit and you're training hard, if you're getting close to comp, like Jesse is right now, then GABA mag would be a fantastic supplement to help the body relax. So let's just go through that process again. If you're struggling to sleep at night because you have a busy mind, 1 hour before bed, start switching all electrics off, start preparing yourself for sleep. Half hour before bed, everything goes off completely. Start reading, start deep breathing, doing your deep breathing activities, and empty your mind out. Pen and paper, and empty everything out. Everything that's bothering you, everything you need to remember to do, put it onto a piece of paper, and then use L-theanine. L-theanine is a fantastic supplement. If I take L-theanine at 6 o'clock at night, I'll be snoozing like a baby by 6:30. It's a great supplement. Helps me out brilliantly. And it's like we all have stressful jobs. Like Laura, she's a police officer. You know, like even if you don't realize it, like there's a lot going on in our day-to-day lives nowadays. So L-theanine is a fantastic supplement for that. And beyond a busy mind keeping us awake, something that I want to speak about today also, because I know there's quite a lot of people here that are dieting pretty hard, and they're in deep deficits, especially Jesse and Kez. When you're in a deep deficit, we don't have as much glycogen in our body. So when we digest carbohydrates and absorb carbohydrates, they get absorbed as glucose, and then they get stored as glycogen. Now the glycogen gets stored in the liver and in the muscle cell. When we go to sleep, our body is in a constant cell turnover rate. Just like it's in a constant protein turnover rate, it's in a constant cell turnover rate as well. So cells are dying and cells are getting reborn and rebuilt. To support this cell turnover rate, we need a supply of glucose in the bloodstream to fuel this. It's an energy source. It fuels the process. And when people are in a deep deficit like Jesse and Kez, what will happen is there's not enough glycogen and glucose in the body to support the cell turnover rate during the night. So what happens is the body goes, well, we need some glycogen to support the cell turnover rate, and we know that the liver stores glucose. We know that the liver stores glycogen. So what we need to do is release some cortisol into the bloodstream to break down glucose out of the liver to support the cell turnover rate. And what happens when we have cortisol in the bloodstream? It's the energy hormone that wakes us up. So we can wake up during the night and get a disrupted sleep. Sorry, I just got a few more people need to mute as they jump on. So then when cortisol gets released into the bloodstream, we wake up, or we might not quite get all the way to being fully awake, but we might get a disrupted sleep pattern because we're in a deep deficit as well. So a good thing to do to counteract that is in the last meal of the day, make sure that you're getting some really slow absorbing nutrients. So one of my favorite meals before bed is cottage cheese, some nuts and some berries, and I mix it all into a bowl. So the cottage cheese is casein protein, very slow releasing proteins. The fats from the nuts then slow down the absorption rate even further, and then the berries will have some carbohydrate sources mixed in that slow absorption foods to support that cell turnover rate. But if you don't like cottage cheese, berries and nuts, just something like a slow absorbing meat, like some beef with some like fibrous vegetables, so those like green runner beans. I'm not sure what you call them in Australia, like the long green peas with little peas in the pod. We call them green beans in England, but I think you might call them like runner beans or something over here. Hey, Cabs, what do you call those green peas that are like long and with the little peas that I chew on them like jelly snakes? Snow peas or something like that. Sugar snap peas. I chew on them like they're jelly snakes. I love them. I eat them like they're snakes. Last thing at night, because they're so fibrous, they take a lot to break down, so they absorb slow as well. So things like that would be a fantastic food source to have last thing at night, which is also going to help with sleep quality. Right, guys, we've got quite a lot of people on this call tonight, so we're just going to flick through. And we're just going to ask everybody what they are experiencing with sleep, stress, and digestion at the moment, and hopefully we can all get some information from each other and support each other as well. So we'll just start. Bree, you're the first one on. Young lady, what's happening, Bree?
Everything's going great. I'm on deload week this week. I've got really low levels of stress, sleeping 9.5 hours. Yeah, going good.
Good on you, girl. You got to go back in for those blood follow-ups.
I'm booked in to see the doctors tomorrow. It's kind of hard to get into the doctors in Dunsborough. There's a waiting list, so I'm booked in tomorrow to get the bloods done. So then it'll probably be another week.
Okay. Have you got your website login yet?
No. Oh, and I've got a new program next week, and some of the exercises I'm not sure what they are, but I'd love to be able to get into the library.
Okay. You should get that login come through in the next day or two. If there's any problems, just let me know.
Yeah, okay.
I'll get it set up for you. But that login's brilliant. Everything you need is in that portal. Like all you have to do is just keep it on your phone, and you've got your nutrition, your training, all your photos, all your old training programs, access to the health lounge, direct access to my booking calendar. Everything you ever need is in that portal in one place. It's like we've got our own piece of software now.
Wicked.
Yeah, so it's not too far away. Cheers, Bree. Stay on the line. I'm just going to pop through to Laura and Kez. I know you guys are at work, so I'm just going to quickly pop through to you guys. Laura, how are you? You made it. Good to see you. Hey, everyone. Laura's in the police, so she struggles to make the calls. But yeah, fantastic. You should all follow her on Instagram, Wonder Woman. Go and check her out. She's got a great page. She does Australian. What do you call it, Laura? The sport you play?
Gridiron.
Gridiron. Yes. So check her out. Great athlete. Yes, very impressive. All right, Laura, what's going on, miss? I just bigged you up there and just sold your Instagram page. What sleep, stress, and digestion? Talk to us. You must have a bit going on with your job sometimes.
Yeah, it's been a bit stressful this week. Had a few courses on with the tactical guys and some physical stuff with cell extractions and things. So I've been a bit wrecked. Tuesday was especially bad. It was more of a sort of mentally draining, or just learning a lot of things. And then I just had to go to bed at like 6 p.m. and sleep through. I didn't have enough energy to train, so I had to move that Tuesday to my rest day, because I have to sleep. If I don't get enough sleep, then it's dangerous when I go to work. So I need to put that before everything else. Yeah,
you're totally right there. And you know, a young Stephen Arnold would have just would have said to you, "No, you've got to make training. You've got to make it happen. You've got to get in there." But you know, the right answer there is you did the right thing. You can't dig yourself into a fatigue debt, because it just doesn't make any sense. It's counterproductive. You've got to do what you feel you can do, and sometimes that means missing training. That's part of life. That's the right decision to make. Can I ask you some questions?
Yep.
What do you do to de-stress?
I pretty much chill at home and just sort of watch a movie or walk the dog. Gym actually helps me de-stress a lot.
Yeah.
So usually feel a bit better after I go for a workout, but sometimes, depending on the time, if I go too late, then I have difficulty sleeping straight after, so I have to time it well if I'm working day shifts.
Yeah, I hear. It must be really hard with that schedule. Hey, just quickly, so a lot of people, a lot of executives especially, will come to me, and when I ask them how do you de-stress, they say go to the gym. And what I'd like to try to help people understand is mental stress, physical stress, and digestive stress all cause the same physiological responses from a hormonal point of view. So even though going to the gym feels like you're mentally de-stressing, you're still having the same chemical pathways occur on the inside. You might be de-stressing your brain, but you're then creating stress physically. So there's different types of stresses, but they have the same physiological responses. So I know this sounds completely stupid, but what I like to do to de-stress is I just go and buy some like $16 Lego when I'm really stressed. It just makes me feel like I'm being a kid again, and it just helps me really unwind. And I know that sounds stupid, but it just works so good for me. But what you said about walking the dog is a brilliant one, because you're getting out in nature. And I think someone was saying to me in the week, it's the repetitiveness. Helps the subconscious mind relax. So if you walk and look at your feet, it's actually more effective. Getting out into the fresh air, getting out and open, and watching your feet. Helps you de-stress. So that's a great one. But definitely for you, Laura, like for you and what I know of you so far, I would say these 3 activities are going to be more effective on your physiology than training and nutrition. And the first one would be stress management. The second one would be weekly reviews. And the next one would be planning and organization. So what I mean by that, stress management would be things that you definitely know are going to reduce physical and mental and digestive stress. So getting out and open, walking your dog out in the fresh air. And 2 would just be something that helps you really switch off and forget about everything else, whether that's Lego or you see those adult colouring books in as well nowadays, the same sort of principle, or whether that's listening to a comedy podcast, just something where you can really switch off. And it's not involving the gym, and planning and organisation and reviewing. So at the end of every week, at the end of every 4 or 5 day shift pattern, it would be looking back, what went well, what didn't go well, and then looking forward for my next shift pattern. What can I do? When can I cook? When can I train? When can I de-stress? And then accepting the fact that sometimes that's not going to go to plan and you do need to take extra rest. But it's very difficult circumstances for you, Laura. And I think the more we work outside of training and nutrition, the better the results are going to be for us.
Okay.
And it'll never be the same every week. Like one week it might work perfectly, and the next week it might be like, that was a disaster. I've really got to work on something. I've got to make some changes here, Steve. Help me. What can we do? What suggestions have you got? But definitely a lot there that we can work on. It's going to make a massive difference for you, for your whole life as well as your physiology,
Yeah, that makes sense. I do plan or workouts with work and everything like that quite often, but sometimes where I'm working now, it can be a bit unpredictable. Sometimes we get recalls, like we've got some shit going on next week where I just don't know if I'm even going to have days off. I might get called back into work on the days I'm supposed to be coming off. I might get called in at like 3 a.m. when I'm supposed to be sleeping. So next week's going to be a bit like take it as it comes, I guess.
Yeah, I totally hear you, girl. I've worked with a police officer before. It's such a tough gig, but you're doing a great job for all of us. You keep all of us safe, so we're all very appreciative of that. Keep doing what you're doing, and also just having realistic expectations, like what might be achievable for somebody with different circumstances. Might take 6 weeks. With you and your circumstances, you might have to allow it for 8 weeks. And this is what I do with the fly in, fly out guys as well. I'm like, we could do this in 12 weeks, but with your circumstances, we have to allow for 30% extra time for fly in, fly out. And it'll probably be something similar for you. And they're like, man, that sucks. I'm like, yeah, buddy, but you're getting paid the big bucks, so you've got to take that. And for you, like, you might say, oh, it sucks, it's going to take me longer. Yeah, but you're doing a great deed for all of us, and we're all very grateful for that. All right, I'm just going to flip through to Keza. I know she's at work as well. Cheers, Law. You all good there?
Yep.
All right, miss. Keep me updated. Keza,
Hey.
what's happening?
Not much. My sleep has been really broken the last couple of weeks because I have psoriasis. I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm scratching this shit out of my skin. So that's what keeps me up in the middle of the night. When my skin's good, I kind of have a good sleep, but it's been really, really bad at the moment. The other day, I actually had to go home from work and have an oat bath and then soak my skin back onto my steroid creams just so I feel better. And now I'm back on them again. And then my steroid creams, obviously, I don't think they do actually mess with my digestion, but I don't think they're bad at all because I don't know. But then also, I was going to ask you as well, my psoriasis is hereditary. And they say psoriasis is something to do with your gut health, right? So did I have bad gut health when I was 3 years old?
Yeah.
Where how does that science work that my gut health was so bad when I was 3 that I broke out in all this psoriasis?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd do? I'd message Dan. I'd just get into a private message with him and say, look, this is my symptoms. This is the situation. This is what we've done. Do you think you can help? And he'll tell you straight off. But how it will work with him is you'll have to pay for that testing up front, which will be $1,000.
Yeah.
And then the work that comes after that'll come further down the line once you get all the results back. So you could pay it in 2 parts, you know, and you can pay him probably on payment. But I think the first thing to do would be to get into a private message with him and say, look, these are the circumstances, these are my symptoms, these are my circumstances, this is what we've tried so far. What would you suggest? And he'll tell you straight. He'll say, yeah, no, I can sort that out, or he'll say, no, I can't. And he'll tell you straight away.
Yeah.
It's just like how much time and money have we spent on this so far, you know? And you know what you want to achieve. And that goal of getting on the IMDb stage is going to take more time and more money. And if we don't do things right, you're just not going to get the result you want. Well, you might do.
Yeah.
But we don't know for sure. So I would definitely speak to him first. I'd just private message him because, you know, he's a good bloke and he'll be happy to help. And he'll just tell you straight.
Yeah. That's something that's been on my mind for the last week because my skin, obviously I saw a naturopath and I paid all this money. I mean, it was good to begin with, but then my skin just got so worse that I just couldn't even go to work without being in pain. My pants were rubbing on my skin. I've got 20-cent piece. No, I've got like 20-cent piece psoriasis all over my skin. Like it was horrible. So I ended up putting the steroid cream back on my skin and I woke up the next morning and it was 100 times better.
Yeah. Do you know what? If you say to Dan, what testing do you want me to do? And then you can go to your GP.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of my other clients, she's just got referred to get loads of testing done by her GP. Like he's referred her through the whole lot. Like he said, just do everything that needs to be done, and everything we said, they did it for her. So if you get the test work down from Dan, what he wants you to pay for, you can just go to your GP and say, look, enough's enough. Like you've got to help me out here. Yeah.
What can you do for me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's good. I'm fine.
Yeah, no, everything, you're solid. You just got to get this sorted. So
yeah,
I'd speak to Dan, and then I'd get a list of the testing, and then if you go to the GP and get the GP to refer you through for it, that's a lot of the cost gone then.
Yeah. What I am doing though is because I'm mostly stressing myself out because my skin is disgusting at the moment that I stress myself out. So every morning I'm taking Pablo and Rowan for a walk. And what I've been doing is taking my shoes off while I'm walking and then go through like a big bushwalk. I find that it almost like brings you back to, that's really hippie thing to say, but it like brings you back to earth kind of thing. Like you're like feeling
they call it earthing,
grounding. Yeah.
Grounding. Yeah. I've heard that. Yeah, fucking true.
I know it sounds really hippie and everything, but it actually feels really good. Like you come back from that walk feeling better.
Yeah,
like walking through the sand in the bush. Mm.
You're absolutely right. It's true. All right, Keza, make that email. Just Facebook.
I will.
And Facebook message me in as well.
Yeah, I will for sure.
All right, girl.
All right.
I'm on holiday. It's a bit hard to get hold of you because I'm in and out of Wi-Fi all the time. But just keep me updated on Facebook.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Easy.
Shari, you're on, brother.
Hey, Stephen, how are you?
Good. Hey, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, man. I had to take a day off yesterday. Just been like really busy with some work.
Yeah.
Today I'm still to go to the gym, but I'll definitely go today.
Yeah.
Sleep's been overall been good, but I have a 1-year-old. She keeps me waking up at night. Um, but not too much. Most probably like early mornings, like close to my waking up time. Digestion feels much better than before. I just been following the proper nutrition, as per the program,
Yeah.
and it's a lot better. A lot less bloating, and just feels a lot better. I can only feel the changes in myself, not only physically but mentally as well. Stress levels are a lot better as well. Just getting things done. The brain fog is like decreased a lot. Just able to sit down and do some work now.
Good man, Shari. And I think everything you said there is positive. Everything's fantastic. And just similar to what we said to Laura, when you've got a 1-year-old, like there's just no way circumstances are going to be perfect, and that's a-okay. You don't need them to be perfect. Don't try to fix something. Some things just can't be fixed and shouldn't be fixed. I'm sure Bree and Judy and Jessie would tell you, when you've got a kid, like it's just going to be slightly suboptimal for a little while. You just got to take it like that. But everything else sounds pretty brilliant, mate. Fantastic. Don't forget to take your progress shots.
Okay, yeah, I'll forward them to you.
Yeah, top man. Everything else is good, eh?
Yeah, everything else.
Sorry, top man. We'll start that content coming back out again next week, all right, once you've caught up.
All right, thank you.
All right, bruv. In a bit, yo. James Webber.
There you go, man.
Good. What's the update on sleep?
Up and down, still up and down, mate. It's I've been away in France for a week, so it's been pretty good. But as soon as I get back, it seems to get rubbish again. So it's I think it's the day-to-day stress that puts it out.
Yeah. So with the operation that you had then, you had this sinus operation. Has that made an improvement or not?
Yeah, I reckon I'm breathing, but it hasn't. I'm breathing a lot better, but it hasn't. I don't think it's healed properly. There's still got quite a lump up there, so I've got another appointment next week to see the consultant. Anyway, so they'll clear that up. But it's definitely improved it, which is brilliant. I can breathe a lot easier now.
Yeah, good man. So you reckon moving forward, then it'll just get better and better then?
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see what he says next week about the little lump, but it's improved it. And I tried those little nasal strips for snoring as well. They're pretty good. They just keep your airways open. I didn't think they were going to do anything, but they're brilliant.
Bloody hell, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, so invested in a few of them. But I say breathing better anyway. But it's the stress levels that I've got to get my head around. And as you know, it's family business and all that. It's a struggle to escape from it. You wake up in the morning, you've got to head back in there. It's not a lot you can do about it. So
what do you do?
Finding something to de-stress is it's difficult. I mean, I can, but it's still difficult when you've got to get back into it.
Yeah.
If you can't avoid it, what do you do? What's the best way around it? Rising above, I suppose. I've been thinking about doing a bit of CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy or something, and see if that might help about how I treat and think about stress.
Yeah, I think dealing with stress is definitely a skill,
but
like we always say, like being stress is a part of being successful. We can't avoid it unless you want to go and be a monk and live in Nepal. You're not going to avoid stress, and the more stress you're exposed to, it tends to be a reflection on how successful you become. So you can choose how much stress you want to be exposed to, and then you just have to deal with the consequences. If you want to be successful, you have to take that stress on. And if you don't want to be exposed to the stress, then you have to accept the fact that maybe you won't be as successful as when you are exposed to it. Possibly, there might not be an absolute, but that is something that has to be considered. And the way that you learn to manage stress and the way that you deal with stress is something that it's like a skill. It will be something that you'll get better at over time. The more stress you
Yeah.
become exposed to, the better you'll be able to manage it and deal with it. But it's about what you do after the stressful time, after work, and how you start to manage that stress. Because when we stress, we get that cortisol pumped around the body. We're in that sympathetic nervous system. It's about switching off and switching into the parasympathetic nervous system before you get home, and not taking that with you. It's about getting in your car at the end of the day and leaving work with you. You've got to put on a comedy podcast or put on your favorite music from the 90s, and start switching off as soon as work finishes. You're a very successful man, and those levels of stress, I expect you to be exposed to that level of stress. I wouldn't expect it to be any other way. And as you get older, it's only going to get bigger. You're going to become more and more successful. So you've got to find ways around that. That's on you. Like, you can't avoid it. You've got to deal with it. You're doing an important role, and you've just got to find a way around it. Hello, you still there? Oh, I'm getting all serious with him, and he's gone. I think he's gone. Well, I'm going to record it anyway, and he's going to listen to it back. You've just got to find a way to deal with it, James, because your position's a very important position, and you need to manage it. So you've just got to find a way around it, and that's just part of it. I'm just gonna bring Ringo on. Ringo, what are you going to say to James? Because he's going through a lot of stress at the minute. He's got a very high-powered job, bro, and I know you'll be in a similar position on the mines. What advice would you give to James?
Oh, look, the thing I found probably most helpful over the last sort of month is I had 3 weeks off, so I was living the dream, as you would say. You know, eating, sleeping, training. It was all magic, spot on, and I went back to work, and then all of a sudden, all the stress of work, 18 straight 14-hour days, and on about 3 of those, I was called at midnight as well for call outs. So I understand what he's coming from, but the thing I found most valuable was before my meals, because I used to tend to just sit down and shove it in and then on you go again, you know. But I've actually been sitting down and using the Headspace app for a breathing, like a 2-3 minute breathing exercise before I eat my meal. And I find that that's helping me to unclog my mind and hopefully digest my food a little bit better as well. So, and it's 3 minutes, and you know that's all it is. And I found that that's really helped this last week. So, yeah.
Yeah, because we're not set up to digest food when we're in that elevated stress state. Yeah, and within your working day, you've got to find solutions to the problems.
And I've been using the zinc magnesium before I go to sleep as well, and I found that that's helped. Even though my sleep has been a lot shorter, it's been pretty good quality sleep. So I found that that's helped heaps too. So when I do get up, then I'm, you know, a little bit better rested than. I mean, I've been relying on sort of 6.5, 7 hours sleep a night at the most this last week, but they've been good hours sleep rather than sort of 9 hours of in and out rubbishy sort of sleep. So yeah, I found that's helped too, that supplementation.
Yeah, quality over quantity for sure. Right, brother. I'm gonna bring on Andrew. This is his first call as well. Andrew, are you there? Andrew? Yeah, he's texting, but he's not speaking. We can't hear you. Mic's not working. Okay. Have you got any questions, brother? Just got to bear with us for a sec, guys. Just make sure you send me your training review, Andrew, because I know what you're like. He has trouble getting off his phone. Yes, sir. All right. I'm just going to open Steve up and get Steve to give us a bit of advice here. Steve, are you there?
Yeah, mate.
What's Andrew's having trouble getting off his phone late at night? You say Pornhub, Andrew. Steve, yeah, talk to us, brother. What's your advice to Andrew?
It depends on what. Most phones you can turn your green light, your blue light off it, because that's where your exposure is. Your blue light, which is keeping your receptors open, which is your behind your eyes there, which is keeping your energy levels up. Thinking it's sunlight, you can turn it so it actually goes to red, and your screen will turn red, which is then will drop all the blue light out if you don't have blue light blocking glasses. And if you actually turn your lights off in your room, you'll find that you'll start to want to deteriorate away from your phone, because like that's the only light. The best thing you can do to get rid of your lighting is to use candles. Candles is because it's a different light and hits a different angle of the receptor, so it's not the blue light anymore. And also if you use lavender, that puts you to sleep just as well. So you combine the candle, which gets rid of your light, which will reduce your phone time. And also, if you take that step away from your phone, you realise that you're going to sleep better, which ideally we're all in here to get better. So you just got to remember what your main goal is to be better than yesterday or better than last week. Even if it's 5 minutes before you go to bed, 2 weeks later it could be 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour in a month. But the biggest thing I've done is change my lighting on my phone so it's a red background instead of the traditional light up.
Steve, you still there?
Yeah, you still there?
Yeah. Yeah, keep going, bro.
Yeah, so I'd start with trying to change your background on your phone, see if that helps you.
What about routines? Like, obviously, he's just got to put that phone down, hasn't he, somehow? He's got to not be on it at night. He's just in the habit of being on it at night time, I'm guessing. Is that right? Is that right, Andrew? I'm guessing you're just lying in bed with nothing to do. Yeah, he's saying he just messaged in saying, yeah, it's just a habit. I'm lying in bed using it.
I'd just take it out of your room. I'd seriously or airplane mode it. Like I airplane my phone, because I use it for my alarm, but it's away from my head anyway. I don't keep it near me. All Wi-Fi's turned off. I do this, it's a bit hard for me, but I do it at least 10 minutes before I got starting to unwind. If you've got no Wi-Fi or no mobile data, what are you going to do with it? Really, not much. My routine is shower, FaceTime, turn phone off, and have lavender candle going so I can get more restful, and just before I go to sleep, I've done my deep breathing and I kill the candle.
Yeah. Yeah, you're bang on. What I would say to you there, Andrew, just to add to what Steve-O said, is you created that habit, and now you just got to break that habit in the same way that you created it. It takes something like what is it, 90 days to create a new habit, but that was on average. So some people created a habit as early as 6 days, I think. Some people took longer. So you just got to get in the habit of not using it. You got in the habit of using it. Now you got to get in the habit of not using it. So you might just reduce the time that you want it to start with, or you might just go 1 day a week without it, or you might try to replace the habit with something else, maybe vaping in bed instead of using your phone or something. Just replace it, do it with something else, or go 1 day without it, or go less time with it each night and just reduce it down. But it's just a habit that you've created, and the same way that you created the habit, you have to now uncreate that habit in the same process. So just give that a go. Mate, you're in such a great position because you have so much potential with your physique. Just being better than you were last week is going to get you fantastic results. We saw that in the first 8-week program, and now you just have to take that into your next 8-week program. Like, you've got so much potential, mate. You just got to be better than you were last week, and that's going to be enough for you. So don't overstress the little things. Don't overstress the little things. All you've got to do is make little improvements, and it sounds like you're already doing that. You're getting on this phone telling me you're not sleeping optimally. which is far better than the conversations we've had in previous weeks. So I'm sure what you're doing is great. And I know you're going to do great things again with this 8 weeks, mate. So just keep us updated and keep making those improvements, bro. Right, let's try and get it through everyone. We've got a couple minutes to go, and then everyone's going to pop off the bed. It's like 10 o'clock over here. So let's just flip through everyone else that it's not quite got on the phone yet. Jesse.
Oh, did you switch me on already? Hang on.
Yeah, you're on. Yeah, you're on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, good.
How are you going with your sleep with obviously yeah, well, you've had some big shifts going on, girl.
Yeah, so I think I got 9.5 hours or 10 hours last night. Then so I come off night shift last Thursday morning, and so for 11 days I was averaging maybe 5 hours sleep between 6:30 in the morning till midday, and then I was pinging after that, couldn't sleep. Then got home, so I was up every night or every morning about 1:30 in the morning, up until 2 days ago. And yeah, and then I was napping at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, so I've had my first good night's sleep last night, where unbroken, didn't wake up at all. So yeah, things are looking up.
That's good. Okay, so how are we set for the week ahead?
Well,
how's your digestion and sleep been affected by the super low? Well, obviously last week was a bit of a diet break, but how's your sleep and digestion been affected by being on super low calories? Because obviously you're doing it real hard at the moment and going pretty extreme. Kez has been there.
Yeah.
Most of these guys haven't probably got to that stage just yet. So super low calories just before you're going on stage. How has that impacted your digestion and sleep?
To be honest, I didn't. I was just in pilot mode when I was away. But towards the end, I was feeling pretty tired, but then also just, I don't know. It's all been a blur. I feel it's all coming back together now, though. Everything's normal, and everything was normal other than the sleep. Yeah, so I pretty much just put myself on pilot mode, because being there with having kids, you put yourself on pilot mode and you just get on with it, you know. But yeah, feeling much better this week with having the diet break. Just got a lot more energy, and yeah, so it's good. I'm looking forward to the end of these next 3 weeks, because I've pretty much, apart from that 1 month of a bit of a break, I've been prepping since November of last year. So it's been massive. I'm ready to have a break, that's for sure.
There we go. All right, we'll just keep looking after yourself.
Will
Right.
do. Cool. Thanks, Mark.
Who wants to go next, Kelly or Judy? Kelly.
Hello.
What's happening?
Not much. Everything seems to be going pretty good. I don't want to jinx it. Last time we said that, it kind of fell apart again. But yeah, digestion's been really, really good. Yeah, everything's been pretty good. Sleep's not too bad. Hubby's home this week, so the first night he gets home, I'm a little bit restless. Just I'm not used to having someone in bed with me. So every movement or every cough or anything kind of wakes me up. But yeah, other than that, everything, yeah, I'm actually feeling really good. So fingers crossed it keeps coming. Yeah.
Give a quick rundown of what's happened over the last few weeks.
What's that?
Give everybody a quick rundown of everything that's happened over
Yes.
the last few weeks.
So real long story short, because we don't have time, on a FODMAP diet, low FODMAP diet, there's an infection in my stomach. So that's been causing absolute havoc. And then we also found out that I'm intolerant to 31 different foods as well, just to add on to that. So not only are we trying to stay on a low FODMAP diet, we're also trying to stay away from the foods I'm actually intolerant to. So, I mean, hats off to you, Coach, because, hey, it's all you. So thank you. Yeah, so sleep and everything, digestion was just horrible. I was going to the bathroom maybe once a week if I was lucky. Sleep was horrible, mood was horrible, everything was horrible. It was really, really bad. But past couple of weeks, it's been slowly, it's not perfect yet, but I can feel that it's getting there for sure.
Making progress. We've got to do it in 90 days.
Yeah.
So for everybody that doesn't know, if you don't have optimal digestion, it's not acceptable. Work towards fixing it and making it better. There's an underlying issue, and if we don't address it as soon as possible, it could get worse.
Yeah.
So we don't have optimal digestion, which is urinating 5 times a day, going for number 2 twice a day, with no bloat and no discomfort. If we don't have that, then we need to work on improving it, because it could be an underlying issue that could get out of hand. With Kelly, we found out that there was an infection that we need to treat, and also foods that she was intolerant to. So when she ate certain foods, she'd get bloating, discomfort. There was 31 foods, and what happens is they don't get absorbed correctly. The autoimmune system triggers an autoimmune response, which gives you the bloating. And if we remove these foods for 90 days, hopefully the autoimmune system forgets that it's intolerant to those foods. The damage that they've caused to the gut lining can repair, and then we can slowly reintroduce these foods without any symptoms or discomfort.
Hopefully.
Now, sometimes doesn't always happen. Sometimes you reintroduce them and you still can't have them. You have to keep them.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can reintroduce these foods and it's fine. I've done this a number of times.
Yeah.
Very difficult process to go through, but we can work out and we can make it happen. So if anybody's suffering from digestive issues, address it as soon as possible.
Yeah. Straight away. Don't wait. Like, just don't wait. Just get onto it now.
Yeah. And I did actually put a link. We've actually found some food sensitivity testing, which is so cheap. It's in the link. If you haven't seen it, get on there and just do that food sensitivity panel, because you can have sensitivities on different severity on a spectrum. You can have mild sensitivities, moderate, or extreme. No, the extreme, you know that you're sensitive to them because you get the flare-ups, you get the symptoms that you need to pick up on. The moderate and mild ones, it might not be enough for you to feel, or there might be foods that you eat so regular you become accustomed to the feelings that it gives you, like chicken. If people do a food sensitivity panel, chicken is nearly always on there because we eat it so often. We build up the sensitivity to it, we build up an intolerance to it. But because we have it so often, we don't realize how it makes us feel because we always feel like it. And as soon as we take that chicken out, it's like, oh my God, I've got so much more energy. I feel so much better about myself. And now we found sensitivity. Normally sensitivity tests like $700, but we found a company that are doing it through Scoopon for like, it's so cheap. I can't remember how much it is. And obviously IgG food sensitivity panels are way more accurate than IgEs.
Right.
The IgEs still give us some information that's worth investigating. So I haven't used that IgE food sensitivity panel that's in the Platinum Health Lounge. So I can't say that it's definitely worked and it's good. Like ones with Kelly, we know there's so much evidence to support that. We know they're good. IgG, it might not be perfect, but for the money that it is advertised in there, it's worth having a pop. Now we've done 2 of these with 2 of our clients so far, and they've both come back with fairly accurate readings. So
that's cool.
Definitely worth having a little look at that link, and having a little go on that. Well, I'm just going to pop through Judy, because I know she's got a lot going on as well, so I'm just going to get her on the line quickly before we knock off. Judy, what's going on? Just quickly go through sleep, stress, and digestion, and then we'll go through the rest.
I feel like with my sleep, I'm always waking up at about 3 o'clock in the morning, always, like clockwork.
What time do you go to bed?
About 8:39.
Okay. What time's your alarm set for?
5.
Interesting. Did you get up to go to the toilet, or did you get up?
Pardon?
Do you wake up to go to the toilet, or do you wake up because your mind's active, or?
Probably wake up because my mind's just kind of active straight away.
How old are you?
42. I just can hardly hear you.
Sorry, I think I have to do this. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
That's a bit
But
weird.
just always, yeah, and you can almost time it. Like I'm just.
Yeah. So how do you feel during the day? Like, do you feel like you wake up and then at 5 o'clock feeling tired, or?
I guess I just run on adrenaline all day, so I don't really think about it. But I feel like it's affecting me because I feel like my body's just always anxious. Like I wake up anxious and then it's just kind of anxious all day. But when I'm asleep, I get good sleep. Like I wake up, I don't wake up feeling really tired or exhausted. I wake up, like it's like, okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay, yeah. Do you know what I'd say to you in this situation? And you're probably going to be a bit surprised. As you get older, you actually need less sleep. Now, 42 is certainly not old. Going to bed at 8:30, waking up at 3, you might not be too far off the mark there. And what I would say to you is, don't fight it. I honestly, I just feel that there's nothing wrong with that. And I think if you just lie in bed and don't fight it and just do what your body tells you. We all say like 8 hours is like sort of the standard, but it's different for everybody. Some people don't need that much sleep to work optimally.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel from what you're saying, if it was like 1 o'clock or middle of the night, 12 o'clock, I'd be like, yeah, that's wrong, but it's so close to the time you should be waking up anyway. I just don't think there's anything wrong with it. I wouldn't fight it. I would just go with it. I'd roll with the punches there. I'd lie in bed till 5. I wouldn't overstress it. If you go back to sleep, you go back to sleep. But if you're wide awake, I won't fight it. I'd roll with that.
Okay.
Yeah, just see how you go. But I don't reckon you need to change too much there. Worry about that. I'd say that's probably just your body getting ready to wake up.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you feel good and you're still taking time to de-stress. 'Cause I know what it's like as a PT. You're on your feet all day, stressing, worrying. It's a fucking stressful job. As long as you're taking time to look after yourself, I think you'll be all right there. Now, you're worrying about your results as well there. What's going on?
Well, I'm just kind of like, I'm not shifting at all. I took some progress photos today and I'll send them through to you tonight.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I'm not shifting. Like I'm not
What's the scale say?
Excuse me. So I'll just bring it up. Give me 2 seconds. Whoops. So I was down to 67, but now I've gone back up to 70.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I kind of
you're starting weight was
day.
Yeah, starting weight was 70.
Yeah.
Down to 67 and back up to 70.
Yep.
That's weird. How's your digestion?
Fine.
I'm just getting your nutrition up here, so I can have a little look, see what's going on. Yeah. How many one-on-one sessions are you doing?
Or what do you mean one-on-one sessions?
As a PT.
Probably like about 8 or 9 a day.
Wow. You've got a big energy output then. So 1,800 calories is 1,900 calories is definitely in deficit. You're definitely in deficit because the weight's already come off.
Yeah, that's the thing. The weight was coming off and now it's not. And I'm just feeling like, I just feel like a little bit stuck right now.
I hear ya. So this is a great example, and we can and no doubt everyone that's listening to this call will come across this at some point. They will go through a period where results are slow, and it's like this.
Yeah.
James Smith will tell everybody, all you need is a fucking calorie deficit, right? But that doesn't always work.
No.
It's as simple as that. A calorie deficit is the catalyst for weight loss to occur, but only when everything else is equal.
Yeah.
Now, what I say is, James Smith will tell you a calorie deficit causes weight loss, just like Usain Bolt is the fastest man in the world.
Yep.
But if Usain Bolt has a torn hamstring, he ain't going to fucking win that race.
Yeah,
That's the problem. He would come last. But we don't just keep saying to him, run faster, run faster, run faster. It's
Yeah.
not gonna work.
Yeah.
We have to fix the problem first and then rerun the race, and then he'll win it. And this is the same with a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit will achieve weight loss if everything else is equal.
Yeah.
And when a calorie deficit doesn't work, because it doesn't always work, it's
Yeah.
our job then to identify what the injury is. What is our torn hamstring? Now, this is the same for Kelly. We had to fix her digestion. That was her torn hamstring.
Yeah.
And it was the same for me when I was prepping. Stress was my torn hamstring. And we have to find out what that missing link is. We have to find out what it is, fix it, and then rerun the calorie deficit.
Mm.
So that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. So what a lot of coaches will do, they'll go, Judy, eat less, do more.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing.
Calorie deficit, just eat less, do more. It has to work.
Mm.
So it's kind of like we know that the calories are right because you have lost weight. You've gone from 70 to 67. So we know that something there was working well, and then all of a sudden it's gone back up. So we have to kind of find out what happened at that point to cause it to go back up. Was it the end of the mesocycle and we went back to base? Maybe the base calories are too high. Maybe that weight gain is the time of the month. Maybe that weight gain is glycogen replenishment.
Yeah.
Maybe that weight going back up is bloating because we put white rice into your diet and we've not had that in there before, or something else. And especially with females, it's really difficult with females because there's so many different factors that affect the scale weight. With boys, we're a lot more linear with our weight loss, but for girls, it definitely goes up and down like this. For boys, it's like don't drink beer, go to the gym, and we're probably going to get you halfway close. But for girls, it's so much harder. I think the best thing to do, Judy, is just give me all the data that you have, the progress shots, the record of weight loss. I've got all your records of nutrition. I can go back through and I'll just analyze everything and have a look. And then between us, we can troubleshoot and try to pick that point, pick that thing that's caused us to go down. But it's quite natural. And this is why I say to people, you've got to do the work at the start because you get that information. We're going to get information from this. And we'll know now when you start prepping, we're going to have that information and we can apply that to make sure we get world-class results. But it's like when you don't have that information, you start prepping 16 weeks out, you don't know what's going to happen. And when you come across a problem, you haven't got time to fix it. So this is great information for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just give me all that information and I'll go through it, assess it, and we'll get on it together.
Okay.
Okay. I've got two people raising hands here. What's going on? iPhone and Laura. Oh, this is old, hey? He's old. Okay. All right. I think... Oh, Ringo. I'm just going to jump over to Ringo.
Yeah, sorry. I was just going to say, yeah, I recognise what Judy's saying there. And because I probably for about 4 months straight, I woke up at 1 a.m. every morning, wide awake, wide awake. And then I'd struggle, try and get back to sleep. And then when the alarm did go off at 5 a.m., ready to get up, I was knackered, exhausted. And I reckon for me, I can't speak for Judy, but for me, I reckon it was absolutely stress related.
Yeah.
No doubt about it for me. And when I managed coming through this now, getting out of that stressful place, I'm finding I'm sleeping right through. So that's what I found. And it sounds like you lead a pretty stressful life.
Yeah.
I know. Just wanted to throw that in the mix and see if it was helpful because I've been through that.
Yeah, and I feel like my body is just like I said, it's just ready. It's fight or flight mode straight away. As soon as I wake up, and I feel that anxiousness through my body, and that just runs all day.
I hear you. I used to be like that when I was PTing as well. I remember driving home after a day in the gym.
Yeah.
And I had my hand on the gear stick, and I was literally
yes. Yeah,
and I was
I feel I've got so much tension in my hands. Yeah, sometimes I just feel my hands, and I'm like, oh my God, just relax.
Yeah. What's your stress management activities?
Yeah, I write, I journal a lot. I read, like I'm doing all the right things. Like, so to wind down, like now, like I've put some essential oils on, like everything's perfect. I'm ready to go. So I'll sleep well. But as soon as I wake up, it's just from 5 o'clock to, the minute I kind of get home, it's just like I said, I feel like my body's just in fight or flight all day.
I reckon we're all going to be buying each other adult colouring books and Lego sets at Christmas.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Kelly's got the
Kelly's got
the colouring book there.
Yeah, but I can identify with what you're saying, because sometimes I'll be driving along or just even standing there and I'm like, oh my God, I've got so much tension through my hands, and that's where I feel it a lot.
Look for
I love my job. Like I love my job, and I love my clients, and I love that energy that I bring, and I don't have to fake it or force it. It's there, but it's just like, I just need to learn to
look for a herb called Rhodiola rosea, RHODIOLA.
Sorry, what was it? RH?
Yeah, RHODIOLA, Rhodiola rosea, ROSEA, and this would be fantastic for Laura too. It's an adaptogen herb. It will raise or lower cortisol when they're elevated or depressed. It'll bring it to base levels where they should be. You can take 1 Rhodiola rosea tablet at breakfast and 1 Rhodiola rosea at lunch. That will help lower down cortisol.
Okay.
Yeah, you just got to be
I just feel like, and that's why I get like a little bit frustrated, because the energy that I'm putting out, like I shouldn't be struggling to lose the weight as such, if that makes sense, or to come down.
Totally here. I've been in exactly the same position. Like I was doing that PT job when I was prepping, and it wasn't. I didn't realize how much stress was affecting me.
Yeah.
You've just got to manage it and keep finding ways. But just going back to what we said earlier about Usain Bolt and the calorie deficit, it's like it's about balancing biology. And once you can balance biology, you'll be able to optimize biology. Like James Smith and his other PTs that don't have an understanding of human physiology will tell you it's just a calorie deficit, but we don't try to maximize. We don't maximize a calorie deficit to maximize results. That's not the equation. The equation is balance biology to optimize biology. There's no maximizing anything anywhere. It's a balancing act. If we can balance biology, we can then optimize it. I'm just going to jump onto Laura because she's got her hand up here.
Yep.
Laura, talk to us.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. On the rare occasion when I have a regular shift pattern, I also wake up at the same time every morning. It's totally stress related. Usually I've got something in the back of my mind that's bothering me that I haven't really clicked on or processed properly, or spent any time really like thinking about it. I also had the weight gain when I'm really, really stressed. So my body just reacts and I get inflammation like everywhere in my calves and everything, and I just hold on to a whole lot of water weight as well. So I've been through that same thing, and it's definitely stressed. And I hold all my stress. You say you hold all your stress in your hands. I hold all my stress in my neck and my shoulders. So I find sometimes getting a good massage really, really helps at least release all that tension physically, and then that helps me feel a little bit more relaxed as well, and less physical ailment in that same place.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Fair shout to you girls. Fair shout to you. Bree. I'm just trying to unmute you.
Hello.
Just give us some of your stress management tips, girl.
Well, I'm pretty lucky that I work at the leisure centre, so I use the sauna and the spa as often as I can. I also try and get to a regular massage, but I do need to make a few more appointments there. I live on the coast, so I try and get the dogs down the beach, put my feet in the sand and go for a walk. What else? I love listening to audiobooks. Audiobooks are awesome. I put them in the car because I've got a half-hour drive between Dunsborough and Busselton every day. So I listen to books, and that's a great way to unwind at the end of the night. So when I finish my shift at 9 o'clock and I'm driving home, I listen to audiobooks.
All right.
What else?
Okay.
James Webber, are you there?
There you go, man.
Give us some stress management tips that you're going to utilize for yourself and some suggestions for other people that they could use.
Well, that's very interesting listening to everyone there. Massages certainly do help me out, but it's a rare opportunity that I get to go, and obviously the costs add up as well, don't they? Tips from myself, I don't know. I probably haven't really got any tips because I'm not managing it very well. So I don't know, but the comment before about walking with bare feet and that's something I do enjoy doing. I've got my shoes off more than I have them on. I think I just feel a bit more relaxed that way. But living on a farm is not always that practical, eh?
Yeah. What are you going to do next week then for your stress management?
I think I might. Well, we were talking about booking up a couple of massages, and I think I do hold it all in my shoulders and neck as well. So that's one thing I think we'll do. But I don't know, just making a bit of an extra effort to I don't know, I can't think of the right words. I know I get stressed, but it's not letting it affect me, I think.
Yeah, the way that you respond to the next couple of weeks will define you as a person.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you have to put up with it or whatever, but what I'm saying is that the solutions that you find will
yeah,
pretty big. Anyway, let's go through. Bree, anything to finish on?
Pardon?
Anything to finish on?
All good.
Kelly?
No, but I mean, just this adult colouring in book is the bomb. It's got like, oh my God, it's so good. I pick one every night and just sit not in the dark, but just with one light on. I've actually, really found that colouring in is awesome in just de-stressing, and you just don't think about anything but the colour and the pencils and everything. So just go get one. They're so cool.
Love it. Ringo?
This is going to sound really morbid, right? But one thing that I found really helpful for de-stressing is I listened to this, it's like a lecture by this philosophist, and he talks about coming to terms with your own death. Then, we're all going to die, and so is everyone around you. And I found that, weirdly enough, particularly helpful, that when I come to terms with that, everything else just seems fairly insignificant, quite honestly, and I just get on with life. So,
can you remember the name of the guy or not?
His name is Alan Watt. It's pretty old stuff. So Allan, and his surname is spelled Watt. He's an English fella, and listen to some of his philosophy stuff on like coming to terms with your own death, and it sounds weird, I know, but for me, I just look at that and I go, well, okay, well,
makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
I don't give a shit if my boss is, hammering down on me right now, because guess what?
Both going to die at some point.
Yeah. Sorry to put a dampener on everyone's evening, but I actually found it really helpful for that.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah. Laura?
I guess when I had trouble sleeping, I had to go to a therapist and everything, and she recommended this app called Smiling Mind, which gave me a lot of, it has like sleeping, you just put it on, it goes for like 15 minutes sometimes, just exercises and everything you can do before go to sleep. Helps. One of them has like ocean sounds, one of them's breathing exercises, other ones that are things you can do at work as well. It takes like a few minutes. So
brilliant.
That's all. Yep.
Well done, girl. Thank you. Judy?
Yeah, I'm going to just go get a colouring book and
Yes, do it.
listen to stories about death. It's kind of yin and yang, but, you know, I love it.
James, you got anything?
Yeah, well, listening to it all, man, I don't know, really. I think I might
Lego,
have a go.
colouring books and
Yeah.
death. It'll be sweet.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah.
Right, guys, go and get some Lego, James. I'll speak to you all during the week.
Okay,
Thanks, mate.
Thanks,
See you guys.
Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.